Hej, siemanko, ludzkie z tej strony Mes, witam was serdecznie w kolejnym odcinku z gameplayami oraz trailerami i lecimy tym razem od czegoś, co w sumie ostatnio się przycinało niesamowicie. Miejmy nadzieję, że tym razem YouTube ogarną. Mamy prawo Exile 2, official gameplay review, jakieś pół godzinki, ale pewnie będziemy sobie gdzieś tam skipować na spokojnie, więc lecimy, bo tutaj będzie bardzo dużo, mam nadzieję, do obejrzenia i przejrzenia. Zaczynajmy. Nie to.
Welcome to Path of Exile 2. We'd like to start off by showing some of the gameplay of Act 3, one of the 6 acts in PoE 2's campaign. We're starting here in the jungle depths. Act 3 is set in the ruins of the Vaal civilization, which fell thousands of years ago. Jungle has taken over their former once great cities, and we'll be exploring it using one of our 6 new character classes, called the Monk. In PoE 1, we have one character class for each of the combinations of strength, dexterity, and intelligence.
Betę zapowiedzieli dopiero na 2.4, więc trochę jeszcze poczekamy sobie.
Many of the new skills that we were trying to design just didn't really fit thematically with the existing classes that we have. Being a spellcaster with a bear form makes sense for strength int, but it doesn't really sound like something that a Templar would do. We realized that since we had new mechanics for every attribute combination, it actually made sense to design new character classes to explore the new themes. In PoE 2, every attribute combination has 2 classes associated with it. Strength int has the Templar or the Druid, on Dexterity you have the Ranger or the more spear-focused Huntress, and on Dex int you have the Shadow and the Monk, which Mark is playing here. Each class has its own 3 ascendancies that let you further specialize the class in the way that only that class has access to, but they both start at the same location in the passive tree. The quest rewards you're offered on the 2 variants are tailored to the class, but of course, this is PoE. You can still mix and match anything to your heart's content.
Nice, nice. O, walka z jakimś głosikiem, nice. Łapeczka.
Looks like we've come across the boss for this area. In PoE 2, every area of the campaign contains a boss of at least this difficulty. That's over 100 bosses to fight as you make your way through the campaign, and they all have unique mechanics to learn.
You need mechanics to learn. Dark Soulsy.
As you've seen from watching Mark fighting, the melee combat in PoE 2 has a very different feel than before. We've done a lot of things to add mobility to combat. Practically every melee skill in PoE 2 has some kind of movement built into it. The Monk in particular is a melee fighter who specializes
Jest coś, co mi trochę brakowało przy melee postaciach Path of Exile, bo ostatnim czasem to grają w sumie range'owymi, głównie sorkiem. Uliczką, jak ja tam się zwiem. Po prostu zdecydowanie lepiej się grało niż medasami. Dlatego też liczę, że w dwójce będzie to lepiej, znacznie lepiej zrobione. Dobra, przewijmy sobie gdzieś tutaj.
The Monk has a few different tools to do this. A fairly simple option is to get right in the monster's face with Ice Strike.
Siema, Magnum.
Ice Strike doesn't do too much damage on the first 2 hits, but attack 3 times in sequence and you can get off a combo that has a much higher chance to freeze. Get in there with that freeze, then roll back and finish the job with a Glacial Cascade. Now, remember how Glacial Cascade had that extra damaging spike at the end? If you've hit a frozen enemy with that spike, it shatters the ice on the enemy and does a
Tyle co obiadek zjadłeś? Nice. Przynajmniej najedzony jesteś.
Oh yeah, I
Też
just
nie do nas zjadłem.
actually mentioned rolling back before. Did I forget to mention that in PoE 2 we added a dodge roll to every character? Just press spacebar at any time to roll.
Dodge roll.
There's no cooldown, no limitation.
Mówię, tak
It
Soulsy.
even has a bit of built-in pathfinding so you don't get stuck on things. When you dodge roll, you're not invulnerable. If something hits you, you're gonna feel it, but most things will not hit you. That's because while rolling, projectiles and melee strikes will
Wypróżnione i najedzone. O, to proszę, miejsce kurde na kolejne opróżnienie. Dobrze.
Now another really important function of the dodge roll is that it lets you cancel out of almost any skill at any time. This makes it so you don't feel like you're getting stuck doing a long animation when something is about to hit you. It really changes how skills with longer attack and cast times play, and it makes dodge roll feel like a very reliable way to avoid attacks. So, that's one way to get out of the way of damage, but the Monk specializes in mobility, so it makes sense that he...
Dobra, lećmy dalej. Za długi kurde ten. Przecież nie będziemy cały czas wysłuchiwać, co on tam pierdzieli, nie? Przeskakujmy sobie. Bierzesz tabletki ziołowe na wyburzenie, bo ostatnio masz szkołę. No. No ale jak pomagają, to zawsze coś, nie? To zawsze ulga. Ja się cieszę, że nie mam takiego problemu. Przynajmniej na razie.
In order to help us with this next area, we're going to call in a sorceress. Mark's friend Octavian is going to send a friend invite, which we're going to accept, and then they can play together.
Fajnie teraz te portale wyglądają.
Sorceress is the new
Podobają mi się.
intelligence-focused character in PoE 2. While the witch focuses more on occult magic and summoning, the sorceress is themed around pure elemental destruction. Let's have a look at how she plays.
All the vaunted technology of the Val, and look where it got them. Dead and buried.
O!
This is the
Alva.
largest soul core I've ever seen. With this, we could power the canal systems.
No. O,
It isn't charged.
wiesz, tak jak ja ostatnio byłem u proktologa, nie? Z wiadomą przypadłością, to mam jeszcze badania, które mi wiszą, ale na razie nie ma miejsc. Jestem na rezerwie, że tak powiem, w kolejce wpisany, nie? Żeby też wyeliminować, czy to nie jest rakowe, albo coś w tym stylu. Natomiast w chwili obecnej już jest okej, nie? Nic nie boli, nic nie cieknie, ale prawda jest taka, że wstaję częściej i ruszam się częściej. Zalecenie lekarza. Z racji pracy siedzącej.
For a more single target focus skill, Arc is a good choice. It does more damage to the first target you hit. Now, if you find yourself surrounded, it might be good to use Ice Nova.
Ale niemniej maście na ból dupy, no, gdzieś tam od czasu do czasu w razie czego sobie smarnę. Tak profilaktycznie.
If you want to help with the sorceress's weak melee defense, though, you could use Arctic Armor. In PoE 2, Arctic Armor is a buff that builds up as you stand still.
U mnie jeszcze wisi, wizytę też u chirurga naczyniowca. No nie mam kiedy.
They take cold damage and build up to a freeze, so it's a great defense.
Nagi są jakieś,
Just be
kurde.
careful. You have to be standing still for a little while to get the full effect, so trying to start a step isn't the best strategy. Now, Arctic Armor is an ongoing buff, but did you notice it didn't reserve any mana? How does that work? Well, we were pretty sick of the fact that in PoE 1, basically every character was playing with no mana pool, so we decided to change the way that reservation
Dobra, co tu mamy dalej jeszcze?
new
Takie trochę przynudzenie jest.
It's a big no-no for most builds, because any
Big no-no.
specialization into cold or lightning isn't going to affect the other element. And generic elemental damage increases are not going to be as powerful as focusing on a single element. Well, in PoE 2, we have another major new system to introduce to solve these kinds of problems, and it starts with weapon swap. Now, in PoE 1, weapon swap isn't really used much for its originally intended use case. We imagined that people were going to be swapping in and out between different weapons to deal with whatever situation they were in. People just don't do that at all, and a large reason for that is because it's really awkward to do. In PoE 2, we wanted to solve that. The staff Octavian is using here has an ice mod on it that makes it great for when he's using his ice spells. We would also like to be able to make sure that the build works just as well for his lightning spells. If Octavian equips his previous staff in his second weapon set, you can see that it appears on the character's back.
Ooh.
Now we're going to open up the skills screen. If Octavian opens up the skill options for his lightning skills, you can see here that you can choose which weapon sets are usable with each skill. First, we uncheck set 1 from being used by his lightning skills.
O, to zarąbiste będzie.
Those off with his lightning weapon.
Czyli jak switchujesz weapona, to od razu switchujesz skillsy. Łeee, zarąbiście.
Now, when we use Spark, the character will automatically switch to the lightning staff on his back, and then use the skill. When Octavian uses Ice Nova, his character automatically switches over to his ice staff before using it. Figure each skill for which set to use, or both if you don't mind which. There's a very short time penalty to switch,
Mega spoko.
so it can be good to leave some skills on both sets if it doesn't matter which weapon set you're using. But we still have the problem of passives. Wouldn't it be nice if we could specialize in both cold and lightning passives on the character? Well, in PoE 2, you can. We're on the passive skill screen here.
Elegancko.
You can see that we're close to both a cold and a lightning cluster. At the top right of the screen, you can see where we have some weapon set specific points to allocate. If Octavian holds shift, he can allocate set 1 to the cold passives.
Ale quality of life change
to the lightning passive.
w dwójce.
Now check this out. As we weapon swap, our passive tree changes from one build to the other automatically. Whenever we cast the appropriate spell, the character's passives reconfigure on the fly to the correct build for that spell.
Podoba mi się to.
Now you can't do this with every passive on your tree. Only points granted from skill books will allow this kind of dual specialization. So you can't change from a
Pogram za
baseline warrior
Diablo
to a
4.
fire element
Nadchodzi.
by pressing a button. But it certainly
Ależ nie w
increases
tym
the
roku?
number of options you have for builds.
Czy za rok?
Huge number of places where the system
Się
can
okaże?
come. You could augment your dagger shadow build
Nie.
with traps.
W przyszłym roku
or have a great curse setup
będzie
on your
beta na
witch in one
pewno.
spec and then move to your chaos debuff
I
spell for the
pewnie
other.
sobie
Really opens up
potestujemy.
your options.
I need more time.
Another fun metagem to try out is called Barrier Invocation. This works a little bit like the trigger.
Dobra, lećmy dalej. Oczywiście YouTube znowu. Kek W. Halo YouTube. O! Walka z bossem. Idealnie. Idealnie na końcówkę. The Cult. Warden of the Cult. Trochę mi przypomina tego bossa ten z PO1. Nie wiem, czy to był ten pierwszy boss? Bo to był, nie, to był chyba w tym trakcie? Czy teraz nie pamiętam. Na pewno był w takiej świątyni z taką kulką, co później ten. Trochę podobnie. Podobne mechaniki gdzieś tam ma trochę. Gdzieś tam jakimiś cisnął laserami. Wiadomo, tu jest trochę inaczej, ale nadal mi się z tym kojarzy. Zwłaszcza ten trójkąt jeszcze. Nice, nice,
So that's
nice.
Path of Exile 2. Your next question is likely to be, when is the beta? Well, we're in our last year of development, finishing acts, adding skills, and balancing everything. The closed beta will start on June 7th, 2024. Path of Exile 2
June,
has been
czyli
a
w
long time coming,
czerwcu?
and we're incredibly excited to be near the finish
Łe, to
line.
w połowie
But
roku,
we're not quite
wow,
there
to
yet. We're
2-4...
determined not to rush this and make sure that we get it right. Thanks
Pewnie
for
nie?
watching.
Czyli 2-4 jeszcze może nawet nie wyjść. Finalnie. A, ciekawe. Mortal Kombat 1.
Gears, my old friend.
My
It's been
old
eons. It's good to see you.
Likewise, Lord Liu Kang.
Lord
Duty
Raiden.
is my highest calling.
Gears is the guardian of the hourglass, a celestial object which lies beyond the realms. The hourglass regulates time and destiny.
I have watched you with the hourglass. You are relishing your role as Earthrealm's protector.
Those with power must know how to use it wisely.
When you restarted history, you altered the destinies of certain malefactors to neutralize them.
Crafting a timeline is a complex endeavor.
You already be compromised.
Damn, jakie fatale! Cox? Cox? O, już jest akurat śmiechu warte? Fortnite X Terminator. Hasta la vista. I will be back. Fate, Samurai Remnant. Okay, okay.
日向のごとく穏やかで人の道を尊ぶ
Mamy.
まさに呼吸のようなものだ
Ajaja.
俺の目的は変わらない欲とするものはただ一つ
それならば、義を生き残ることはできんな。
Tak, słyszałeś mu z Terminatora. Tam był ten collab, był z Fortnite'a, że dali postać Terminatora do Fortnite'a.
水の鞘から抜くな
武蔵ちゃんの弟子にしちゃ大した相手にはなりそうもないかね。
勝てぬ戦に血道を上げるのはただの悪手だ。俺と共に戦う気はないか、宮本伊織。くだらない思い出話をしようじゃないか。由小説。
いいね。ますます面白い。一丁派手にやり合おうか。
この地の静寂を乱す者降りかかる火の粉を払わせてもらいました
美しい命をくださいませ。心が躍るような命が欲しいのです。
探したぞ、悪しき鬼どもよ。焼け口の傀儡ども。
英月によって向こうの人々が傷つくゆえに壊す壊してこの義に幕を引くセイバー
復讐するは我にありと神は言った。
決着をつけましょう。あなたたちの敗北という幕引きでね。
貴様のご託に耳は傾けぬ。
英霊七騎ことごとく死ね。
ひとたび縁を結んじまったなら見捨ててたまるもんか。
風は吹いたならば火を放つのみ俺の願いは
君は何故これほどに剣の腕を磨いてきたのだ。
俺自身が叶えねばならないものだ結果よりその過程に意味がある
では戯れはこれにて幕引きよ。
願いを砕いてくれ
Okej, aż mi serio oblazły. Włosy dęba stanęły.
ほう、随分とみすぼらしい客ではないか。
Nice. Miyamoto Musashi! Aj! Total War Pharaoh! Dali faraona w Total Warze? Po tej to jakoś, niestety.
While Hattie and Egypt may pay little attention to the land that they see primarily as a land bridge inhabited by wild dogs, in these tumultuous times, leaders will rise to prove to these nations that they have been so wrong to underestimate them. From the humble diplomat to the great raider, Canaan will rise from the embers of both Hattie and
I Ksenia, wojownicza księżniczka.
through either subterfuge or simply adding to the flames themselves. Before we begin, a quick note. Total War Pharaoh is still in development, and certain things may change between now and release. Also, some colors may appear a little different on the UI.
Ale pytanie, czy już nie
This
wyszedł,
is
bo 3
because
miesiące temu
I'm
było.
using colorblind settings. So, with that out of the way, let's look at Kanan.
Ile może?
The leaders you'll take command of from Kanan in Total War Pharaoh couldn't be more different from one another. They do, however, share one common thread. They'll both stab you. Let's start off with Irsu, as he wouldn't have it any other way. Starting out in Ret Genu, he has a very simple, yet very respectable approach to ruling. He doesn't care to. He simply sees what he wants, and he will kill to get it. Resources, money, or the simple premise of violence. If you have something he wants, he will not ask. He will simply take. In dark, apocalyptic times such as these, he doesn't care for society's downfall. He simply cares for the next opportunity to raise and loot. To himself, he's a prize fighter, bringing the heavyweight champions to their knees. To the rest of his lands, he's a herald of the oncoming apocalypse. Over in Fenku, we have the opposite in approach to Irsu with the diplomat, Bey. Enamored by Egyptian high society, and already in decent standing with Meneptah, he intends to find his way into the courts and spread his control and influence throughout it, offering gifts with one hand, whilst taking with many more. Bey's approach to power is much stealthier than Irsu's, in that he would rather manipulate in the shadows than spill blood in the light. Where Irsu seeks chaos, Bey seeks to stem anarchy's tide through charming politesse and political scheming. He'll rise to power either with a puppet pharaoh or even breaking beyond Egyptian norms and taking the crown himself. Throughout all this though, his visage remains the same. A humble diplomat from Canaan, a learned man who just wants to do good. Just don't delve deeper, lest you want a dagger in your back. Whether they're seeking the pharaoh's or the great king's crown, the leaders of Canaan can choose their path, or simply elect to take their own. It's not only the motives that make Irsu and Bey drastically different from one another, but also how they play as leaders, and how you'll build their empires from the ground up. Bey isn't the kind of man to stand boisterously and act strong and powerful. Instead, he's much more cerebral. His approach to power is different from most of the other factions in Total War Pharaoh. While like other leaders, he does intend to build himself up in power, he doesn't take the usual bronze weapon-adorned roads. He's weak when faced head-on, so would rather work in the shadows. Utilizing influence, diplomatic relations, and subterfuge, Bey utilizes the vast amount of resources he can gain from his buildings to make friends with diplomatic gifts, before he eventually stops giving and starts taking massively. His closeness to Egypt puts him in a unique position as a Canaanite. He actually begins worshipping the Egyptian deity forces that are unique to your leader, and some that are unique to the land. Canaanite forces are stuck between two different types of militaristic beast, and therefore need to be able to adapt to both the speed of the Egyptians and the heavy armor of the Hittites. Canaan's forces utilize medium armor, sacrificing a modicum of the speed the Egyptians utilize, whilst also keeping a balance of speed and protection against Hatti's heavily armored juggernauts. Canaanite units also commonly come with the Raider attribute, meaning whilst they're fighting in the streets, they may start setting fire to buildings at your command. In Bey's starting location in Fenku, we find the native Fenku and Yamad forces. These forces span the entirety of the armor spectrum, preparing them for war from both the north and the south. They have lightly armored units capable of decent ambush tactics, whilst medium and heavy armored units bring decent defense, capable at holding out against chariot charges from Egyptian forces. Meanwhile, Irsu starts near local forces viewers of the Egyptian deep dive may recognize, as these are the Sinai and Ret Genu militia also utilized by Ramesses. While the forces may be familiar, under Irsu's command you'll be utilizing them for different reasons. Where Ramesses sees these forces as yet another decent force in his local militias, for Irsu, their speed and range can be absolutely pivotal. The Sinai and Ret Genu local forces pick up the slack where Irsu's unique forces may falter, with decent ranged units, discipline, and fantastic speed. But this doesn't mean Irsu's a slouch, as we'll cover in the next section. Finally,
Jak w jakim rządku, kurde, czekają,
only factions
żeby
capable
stab
of
zrobić.
gaining access to either the Pharaoh's Guard we mentioned in the Egyptian deep dive and the Great King's forces, which ease. You may harbor some lighter armored units, even one with bows, but their purpose is simple.
O, tu teraz
Be
bardziej się coś
expendable
wymieniają
and
w tłumie.
harass the enemy until the big guns come in. His
Ooh,
forces
big
can be
guns.
reckless in combat, which can be utilized by certain units as stances, and some of his forces even have the heedless charger trait. But with their heavy armor, in many cases they can afford to be this bloodthirsty. To them, this isn't a structured war with honor. This is a bloody battle, and they're here for a fight.
Bloody
So
battle.
these are the Canaanite leaders you'll be taking command of in Total War Pharaoh. From the brutish might of Iesu to the cunning stratagems of Bay, will you be the hand
Total
that
War
pulls the
Pharaoh.
strings of these civilizations from the age of collapse to the age of Canaan? Or will you be the herald of the apocalypse, reveling in the destruction wrought by your hand and a dark cloud on the horizon? Whether it's a dynasty to be proud of or an empire of ash, will you bring Canaan to glory?
Pięknie, pięknie. Elegancko. Apex Legends. Kill Code Part 2. O, 4 minutki? No tak, no. Nice. Że dzisiaj trochę więcej obejrzymy. Dzisiaj jakieś dłuższe na początku były. Mam nadzieję, że YouTube nie padną. Death is only the beginning.
What the hell?
You're dead.
I can help, but why the secrecy?
They've got enough on their hands with Duardo. This will only complicate things.
I see.
Demonio's eye. He's involved somehow, and I won't have anyone else getting hurt. Can you do your thing with it?
My thing? Oversimplification. But shouldn't be hard.
You're not dying today. You're not dying ever.
If you quit playing your stupid games with Lola and leave her alone, I can make it happen.
Knock, knock.
I just finished decrypting the drive, but the information's incomplete.
Sorry about that. We had to jet before we could pull the whole file. Can't remember why.
Fancy meeting you here. Thought you were...
It's the code for a safety protocol. Hammond. They use it on transporters that move important assets.
Hammond? Our tip was that Duardo was on salvo.
Maybe they're chasing the same thing. Mangy dogs.
What asset is so important that Duardo and Hammond are playing hot potato with it across the Outlands?
Maybe the asset is...
The head.
Go back to hell!
I know what that place was. A revenant factory. With no revenants.
So the asset... Oh, shit.
I don't know how. It was gone. I made sure.
Apparently not sure enough, cuz.
If Duardo had the head, could he control Revenant?
You don't want your own personal murder bot? Wouldn't mind having one myself.
Can you see where it's gone?
No, but it seemed to have traveled a lot.
Crypto?
I found it on salvo, and I was handling it.
You know, this whole lone wolf thing ain't cute. I don't like this.
We need that head.
My way's still available. Find Duardo,
stop punching, ask questions later.
If Duardo wants Revenant, it ain't for good reason. Gotta get the head and cut Duardo off at the pass. Thanks, Crypto.
Kurde, nieźle. Okej. Death is reborn. Spoko trailer. Prawda mi się udało. Under the Waves.
Alright. Just like in training. Primary motor on. Check flaps and rudder. Spinning up rotors.
Impressive.
Not just a pretty face.
Pretty face.
Think of it like swimming, but faster. And with a higher insurance premium if you smack yourself into something.
Green across the board. Looks like we're good.
All right, door should have unlocked. Off you go.
Spoko, jakiś podwodny świat. Atlas Fallen. Lord of the Sands. I oczywiście tu dają ciała jak zwykle. Halo? Tuby?
I see a timeless land.
YouTube! Znowu YouTube! Co to w ogóle jest grane? Ja się pytam, co to jest grane YouTube? Ostatnio naprawdę nie idzie nic oglądać, kurde, bo co chwilę buferuje. Wszystko, co jest w jakiejś lepszej rozdziałce, to po prostu buferuje, nie?
Land filled with dangers. World covered in sand. People suffering from the oppression of an ancient evil. I see someone with the power to liberate mankind from the gods. I see surfing. What the surfing?
Selfie.
Atlas Fallen, coming August the 10th.
Okej. Dobry trailer, dobry. Alone in the dark.
So, your uncle. What's wrong with him?
He says a dark man is following him, watching him at all times.
Kiedy wychodzi?
No! You stay back!
W styczniu wychodzi. Rebootik to jest. Czyli totalny remake, pięknie. Remnant 2. Dobra, musimy czekać, aż się poładuje. God damn it, YouTube. Jeden trailer ci ładnie ładuje, a drugi po prostu jakaś kicha, nie? No, dawaj, dawaj. Dawaj, wać pan. Ach, te YouTube. What? Co tu w ogóle się dzieje? To im od samego początku, kurde, w ogóle to. Jesus. I tak to właśnie jest bliska z tymi YouTube'ami. Fortnite X Jujutsu Kaisen. Godzie Satoru. Lost Soul Aside. A to co to? RTX 4K gameplay? What the fuck is this? Lost Soul? Lost Soul Aside. RPG, TPP, Fantasy, Science Fiction, Indyk? To jest Indyk? Kurde, całkiem nieźle wygląda jak na Indyka. Ale to tylko trailer, pamiętajmy o tym. Realia mogą być inne, zapowiedziane na 2.4. Bez miesiąca i daty jak na razie. Czyli w sumie to takie... ala Devil May Cry, Souls pewnie i tak dalej, nie? Epic akcji jeszcze. Taki mocny action. Czyli jak Devil May Cry. Gdzie podobne. Spoko. Okay. Dead by Daylight. X Alien. Ooh. Alien. 10. pasażer non-stop. Ciekawe jestem, czy są voice-gery.
Peggy 16.
Fort Solis.
Fort Solace, this is Jack Leary, senior engineer responding to your alarm. Please come in.
Jack?
Just, Solace is locked down.
Be careful.
Buongiorno, jestem Alien. Tak jest, daj buzi.
Please tell me you didn't remove your helmet.
It's not natural to wear it that long. Why would someone remove the power supply? Hello?
Made contact?
Mamy Fort Solis wpisane?
I think there may have been an incident here.
An incident?
Mamy.
What kind
To jest
of
horrorek.
incident?
The patient vomited blood.
I need to get out of here.
I'm on it.
Już uszło. Z ostrym języczkiem oczywiście. Z lekkim kwaskiem jeszcze. Cieszy mnie to, że jest tyle tych horrorów teraz, tak? Parę lat temu nie było tyle horrorów, to teraz jest wysyp tych horrorów. Po prostu jest w co grać, nie? Mnie to cieszy. I mnie to niesamowicie cieszy, kurde.
How long before they're there?
Atomic Heart. Nie będę miał czasu, żeby w to wszystko grać. Horrorki ogrywam tak de facto tylko i wyłącznie w piątunie, więc wiadomo, że pewnie życie mi nie starczy, żeby grać wszystko, ale no. Może za jakiś czas znowu będzie przestój w horrorkach, bo będzie przesyt. Nie będą wydawać horrorków. Co w sumie pozwoli na nadrobienie trochę. Kto wie, nie? Czas pokaże. Czas pokaże. Że tak powiem, każdy ma jakąś swoją kubkę wstydu, jeśli chodzi o gry, a ja mam gigantyczną. Raz, że kiedyś mnie w ogóle nie było wstać na tyle gierek. Teraz bardziej się podkodało trochę. Dwa, sporo grałem na jakichś takich multiplayerowych, online'owych gierkach. Straciłem mnóstwo czasu. Zaniedbałem single. Tak to właśnie jest, nie? I tak to właśnie jest. Próbujesz odpalić lasę pochę, ale z marnym skutkiem nadal? Ja pierdzielę, masakrę mam z tym lasę pochę, nie? Nie wiem, ja bym nadal kontaktował się gdzieś tam ze supportem i ewentualnie spróbował to rozwiązać, nie? Albo coś. Tak to trochę marnie, nie? Lords of the Ring, Heroes of Middle-earth. Mines of Moria? Tak, The Mines of Moria, dobrze widziałem. To trochę żal będzie, jak wyjdzie 1-0 i nadal nie możemy grać, bo nadal to samo będzie, nie? Mobilka, jak sądziłem. Warden's Rising. No, jasne, no. No, ja tutaj trzeba bardziej się uzbroić w cierpliwość i po prostu odczekać, nie wiem. Aż póki nie ma 1-0, jeszcze wydaje nam to... Ciekawe. Tiny Tower na Nintendo Switcha. Naprawdę, ta gra mi przypomina kurde Wikingów, nie? Od Blizzarda, nie?
Tiny Thor, buy now.
Pięknie. Gothic Classic na Nintendo Switcha, port. Właśnie, słyszałem, że ktoś mocno skrytykował wersję na Nintendo Switcha, ale nie pod kątem graficznym czy coś stylu, tylko że fabuła jest płytka. Ja mówię, tak sobie pomyślałem, kurde, czego ludzie oczekują od wieloletniej gry, kurde, nie?
We call it the Colony. You'll know already that we produce ore.
Ja nie wiem, oczekiwali kurde jakiejś innej fabuły w Gothicu, czy co?
There are 3 camps within the barrier. The old camp is the biggest and
Ile
it was the
Gothic ma?
first.
Gothic wyszedł w 2.1, znaczy w 2001.
Where the mages think they can just detonate
Więc to ma
the barrier as soon as they've
22
scraped
lata.
enough ore together. And then there's the sect Loonies in the east. Their camp is in the middle of the
Nie rozumiem
swamp, and
takich
they're
ludzi.
praying to their idol to set
Masakra.
them free.
You'll work your way up, but no matter how far you'll get, the barrier will finally stop you.
Ale ja czekam na remake'a Gothica i wtedy sobie pokamy w Goticzka. Mam nadzieję, że będzie remake 2, 3 jeszcze. Ale tak, pamiętam ten drewno kombat, kurde. Masakra. A pamiętam, bo u sąsiada, kumpla właśnie ten giercowałem. Na swoim nie giercowałem. Ale było przekomicznie. Baldur's Gate 3 Official Launch Trailer. I buferowanie. O kurde, co tu się dzieje? Niezły bufering. Jak to właśnie idzie? Tak to właśnie idzie z tymi dubami, nie? Halo, YouTube? Dobra, niech się ogarną. Niech się chwilę ogarną, bo to jest masakra. Z tym buforowaniem. Z okazji feedbackami mi już wysłałem.
I saved you.
I've saved you.
And I'm here to save you again.
Because of reasons. Because of reasons. Mówię, niektóre trailery to kurde jak masła, a reszta to spadaka jakaś, nie?
Her parasites are merely a symptom of a greater
Piękny widok, tak swoją drogą.
sickness in Faerun. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god.
O, zmniejszył rozdziałkę?
The Absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive.
A że jest potato raz nie? What the fuck?
It threatens
Prawda, to
all
YouTube.
who live. It threatens the gods, the weave, the very fabric of the universe itself.
How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards?
Blackith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
I'll enjoy watching you
try. In mere moments, all that you have dreaded will come to pass. When the screaming stops and your mind is gone, the rest, perhaps, is silence.
Silence, maggots. Silence. Pięknie. Apex Legends znowu, Resurrection.
The strings on me continue to pull. Someone new, tinkering in my head.
O, takie pół godzinki, które sobie będziemy jeszcze oglądać, moim zdaniem.
And stitched back together. You're lucky I'm here to spare you the agony.
To spare the agony. Yes, my liege.
They just won't let me die.
Die, die, die.
Your will to live is fading.
Assassin instincts, passive.
I can see it. I'd love a closer. Your death give me life. Tell me,
Holy shit.
my future hold.
Nieźle.
Gonna get rough as guts. A great day to die.
But I keep him in my rear view. This will be fun. I feel good. Here I go killing again. You're going to become a skeleton now.
Bandit eliminated.
Death finds a way.
Smile, mate.
I'm not finished with you yet.
Yes. We are not finished.
Some skinbag out there thinks they're in control.
Control. Yes.
I'll rip it from their cold, dead
Bodies. Pięknie. I łeb urwany przy samym tyłku. Jest. Payday 3.
Alright, guys, it's a simple job. Just in and out. Nothing to it. Everybody hit the fucking floor!
Fajna akurat dobrze by się grało z ekipą jakąś, nie? Ile tam, 4 osoby maksymalnie mogą być? Jakoś chyba tak, nie? Ale nie mam niestety żadnej zgranej dobrej ekipy, z którą można by było popykać prawie że codziennie, nie? Tego typu. Rzeczy. Chyba żeby na innej kurde na grupie dopytał tamtych chłopaków, kurde. Że ktoś by był chętny albo coś. Lost Edilons, czy jakoś tak. Takie bardziej PvP, nie? Ciekawe. Black Desert Online. Zobaczmy, co tutaj nam ciekawego pokażę. Coral Abyss. Króliczek się zakryda. Ten zajec.
Miss Meow's gotta be around here somewhere in this flopping huge palace. Meow.
Meow meow. Meow 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 meow.
Hey! Hold your shell! Bird!
Meow. Pinky Bubble Hops catch me? Phew. Mr. Turt, you've totally gotten faster, Meow. Miss Meow, you're safe. Goya, it's dangerous here, Meow. They're saying the Dragon King is sick and he's after our livers. Goya, get the flop out of here!
What the shell? Look over there, Turt!
Wielki wieloryb. Albo smok.
Well, Miss Meow, we had a good run. Turt.
You did well. I look forward to a rematch in our next life, Meow.
Don't you dare, baby Belle! You shall not
You shall not pass.
So, shall we take a breather until that big pup's out of sight, Turt?
Fine, but not a moment more, Meow.
Meow. Źle. Somerville. Co to? Za Somerville? Akcji, science fiction, skradanka, platformówki, przygodówki, indyk. Całkiem spoko. Palejaczka, giereczka. Nie, Reincarnation. Czy Summer Wine jest też na... To teraz wyszło na konsolę. Widzę. Czyli na playaka. Okay. Hitman, World of Assassination. Jakiś DLC nowy. Czyli taki delcek ze skórkami bardziej, nie? Okej, okej. Znowu mamy Atlas Fallen. Bam! Pięknie. Outpost, Infinity Siege. I znowu loading. Okej, okej.
It's over. AI won.
It's over. YouTube won.
Forget our old doomsday scenarios. In the end, our pride and avarice was to be our.
Masakra. Jak ten YouTube, kurde, chomiki dokupi.
Or downfall. Battles ravage every corner of the land. Self-destruction put on hold as creator fights against creation. Humanity is on its last legs, scraping by, trying to make it to tomorrow.
O, to jakiś shooter? Outpost. A, to jest jakiś base building, tower defense. O kurde. Ale jest shooter też. Okay. Overwatch 2 Official Enigma reveal?
Invasion is coming. The future is in jeopardy. I am the Enigma. I need to get a message out to our heroes. Null Sector's forces are attacking Rio, Gothenburg, and Toronto. I need reinforcements in these locations. We need heroes, more now than ever. Together, we will fight for the future. Answer the call, heroes. It's time to fight back. Prepare for the invasion.
It's John Cena. Okay, Overwatch 2 Official Fight the Invasion. Okay.
This is not war. This is liberation.
This is slaughter.
It's bad, soldier. There's something different about Null Sector this time.
They've taken over most of the city and they're rounding up Omnics.
Null Sector is everywhere! I'll hold them as long as I can!
There's more to these attacks than we think.
The civilians can't hold out much longer.
It's Null Sector. We need to get the defenses online!
It's a killing machine!
Oof.
This is not cruelty.
This is justice.
Okay. Mortal Kombat 1. Banish it. Ale flaszki. Jasny gwint.
Earthrealmers aren't ready to see the real me.
So how does it work? You just shape-shift into anything you want?
I can shift only between this and my natural form.
Whoa.
That I could take human form made me a freak among my people. I was terrorized. Run out. You misread my intentions, Princess.
I am Ashra, demon of the Netherrealm. I appear nearly human because I've purged most evil from my soul. My sister demons were furious at my change of heart.
Astra and Sizos, come. The monks must prepare you for war. You will accept chaos by choice or by force.
Killing one realm to free another is a heinous proposition. One I won't let you fulfill.
LOL.
They're out for you too, Sizoth. To catch me, they must see me.
Huh? Damn.
Okej. Ją popieścił. Pieczony zombie.
Take your chaos elsewhere.
Alright. Damn. Nieźle. Nieźle, nieźle. Red Dead Redemption. Official PS4 i Nintendo
My
Switch.
name's John Marston. I'm here to bring two men to justice. Bill
A to jest
Williamson,
jedynka w ogóle. O kurde.
Javier Escuela.
I know one thing, Senor Marston. If you're to have your own way, force must be used.
Właśnie, a jedynka jest też napisana.
Your wife and son are doing well. Let's try to ensure
Nie
things
ma.
stay that way.
Okej. Ale jest na PS4. PS4 mamy. Nie grałem w Red Dead Redemption żadnego. Nie miałem okazji. Tak samo jak nie grałem w GTA 5. Także, no, kubka wstydu. Deathbound.
Lady of men.
I Uforing?
Lady of the true faith and of the true path of those who breathe, hear my clamor. Give us thine blessing. Give us thine righteousness. Give us thine peace at the end of our journey. Only thine word is true. Only thine church is the path. Thou art the end. In being the end, thou art the beginning. O Lady, I beg of thee, give us thine protection today, that we might make thee an offer of 1,000 infidels cut down by our swords. Postpone today our inevitable end, so that our life becomes an instrument of death. By the breath, by the war.
By the breath,
peace.
by the war. Yes, my liege. Okay. Apex Legends Resurrection Battle Pass Trailer. O dobra, pokażcie co tam macie w Battle Passie. Bo mieliście w sumie. To było 3 miesiące temu, więc... A teraz jest w sumie nowy sezon. Zakładając, że się odetka. Buforing. Ach, te YouTube. Skoczyło na potato, kurde, jakoś, nie? Dobra. O, się poprawiło.
Flashing before your eyes. That was me. You don't need a weapon to kill. But they make it more fun.
Bandit eliminated.
This is going to be fun. They built me to be a perfect killer. Let's take you apart. See what you're made of. I'm always watching. Go ahead. Grab everything you can.
That's the goods.
In the end, it'll be buried with you. Death finds a way. Once you see the world through my eyes, you'll know fear. Here. Take a look.
Take a look, yeah. Pięknie. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. No i tak mamy trochę zaległości, jeśli chodzi o Call of Duty. Vanguarda żeśmy nie opykali, jeśli chodzi o kampanię. Później jest, co tam był? Modern Warfare 2? I teraz trójkę, nie? Ale mamy tyle gier, że na spokojnie. Teraz wiem, że jest jakaś promocja na Battle.necie. W teorii mógłbym kupić, kurde, ten Vanguarda, ale no. Zobaczymy. Tak jest, tak jest, tak jest, ludziska. I dobrnęliśmy do końca naszego odcineczka. Dzisiaj trochę dłużej, ale dzięki temu troszeczkę też więcej zrobiliśmy tych trailerów, 36 włącznie z tym zaliczyliśmy, więc jest elegancko, elegancko. Jutro prawdopodobnie będzie też gdzieś tam 1,5 godzinki, żeby trochę to bardziej nadgonić. A ja nie przedłużając, dzięki wielkie za oglądanie. Mam nadzieję, że miło spędziliście czas przy tych trailerkach i widzimy się już niedługo w kolejnych materiałach. Trzymajcie się.